and today I've got a pretty weird video for you. Now before I even start this, I want to say that I am dramatically tired. I haven't been sleeping too well the last few days, and right now I just feel tired. But in the spirit of continuity, is that the right thing? Or basically frequency of videos, I'm going to do this video everywhere. Anyway, there are already like 5 messed ups in this video, and it's been like 4 seconds in. So this video is a little bit about my schooling, a little bit about me, and a little bit about how I managed to never really sit a real exam. Now what is a real exam? Okay, now a real exam for me is an exam which you can lose. Okay, there's some exams in life you can't lose. Now I've sat them. I've sat exams where people need to judge you, or they'll be like, hey, can you do this so we can work out what kind of score you've got? But I'm talking about exams where you can get a 0 and a 10. I've never done one of them. At least I've never had a score from one of them, ever. So how is this? How can a 21-year-old, nearly 22-year-old, fuck me, I'm getting old, not sit an exam? Let me explain. Now, I'm not a great storyteller. Am I a good storyteller? I don't even know. I don't know if I'm a good storyteller. So what I decided to do is I decided to use the power of MS Paint. 1, because I don't have a whiteboard. 2, because I don't want to waste money on a whiteboard. And 3, because I, don't have a whiteboard, the same one. So basically it's only 2. So I'm going to use MS Paint and maybe some other magical props in order to tell this story correctly. If we go back to the get-go, okay, so I was a kid, I was living in England, and this was when I was like 4 or 5 years old. Now, no 4 or 5-year-olds really sit exams, I don't think. I didn't, anyway. And I basically had dyslexia. Now, when you have this, basically, you kind of by default don't really have to sit any exams. And how they usually find out this is when you sit an exam, all of a sudden you look at it, don't know anything, start crying, and that's what I did. And anyway, then they say, oh, he's probably not got something right here, and then they put you in special classes. Now, special classes are fun because they're basically just a big game. You just get to build stuff, play with stuff, draw stuff, and you can't ever get it wrong. The teachers are lovely, they have so much respect for you. You usually meet some good people. I did anyway. These special classes are the best. So anyway, you don't do exams in them, and I can't remember ever actually doing an exam, but if you do, they're non-monitored, meaning that it's like, hey, answer this question, but you don't even know you're answering a question. It's just like crazy. It's awesome. It's the best. I can't even remember it. I'm saying it was the best. I don't remember it all. I just remember every day, like, or 3 or 4 times a week, halfway through the day, I'd get 2 hours off to go and drive to a lesson, special lesson about an hour away. It was wicked. Wasted loads of time. Didn't get to go to school properly. But anyway, then I turned to 7 years old. Yeah, and this is when my parents decided to move to Spain. Now, already I hadn't really done any real exams, and we're already on a plane. Look, that's me right there, flying on a plane. You can get the image. I want you to be able to get the image right there. That's me. I then parachute jumped into this fire. There was explosions, everything. I parachute jumped onto the ground, hit Spain, age 7. It was incredible. You should have been there. But anyway, I then went to Spain. So like, I missed probably about 4 or 5 months of school because when you're, probably not that much, actually, like 5 weeks of school or a month, whatever it is of school, because when you're moving, there's a lot of stuff getting changed. You end up stopping school like 3 or 4 weeks before, and then when you get to the new country, there's loads of shit to sort out. It's pretty good, actually. Not gonna lie, you miss a lot of school, and I didn't really like school, so that was quite a benefit for me. So then, I was in Spain. Now, when you come to Spain, it's changed a lot now. The education system over is actually quite good, but I was just quite bad for it. I was not a good sister. I wouldn't want me in my class. Like, if I had a class and I was a teacher, there's no fucking way I'm letting me in. So then I was 7, started school. Now, the thing is, I didn't speak Spanish, so by default, didn't have to sit any exams because it would be a bit pointless. An English kid trying to sit Spanish exams, it wouldn't really work. And they didn't have any English crossovers of them exams. So I just used to go to Spanish classes. Now, Spanish classes for me, again, wasn't learning Spanish, so I just sat there and again met English people. So it was a great community. It was where I met all my friends, really. Probably 90% of my friends I met in Spanish class. Kind of interesting, isn't it? Because you can speak to other people who were English or didn't speak Spanish. It was cool. I love these little special classes that are on my own, and they're like my little worlds. I love them. I hate being part of conforming to normal school, normal classes. Fuck them. Having these special classes built outside, they're always better. Loads more stuff goes on in them. So anyway, I then didn't learn Spanish. So what ended up happening is for like 1 to 2 to 3 years, I stayed in Spanish classes, missing loads of exams that I should have been taking. And finally, I kind of, at about age 8 to 9, I really stopped going to school. Now I was getting bullied a lot. I hate talking about that because I don't know, like when kids like stuff, every kid goes through this kind of shit. But basically, I really honestly hated school, and I would actually make myself feel ill. I would feel sick about it, got anxiety, used to make myself sick on purpose, or like tried to be. I was never good enough that I couldn't do it. I didn't have the rules. I was like, I can't do it. But I used to pretend to be sick extremely well. Used to do stuff that would put me in a little bit of danger. Like I'd go out when it was really cold and not wear a jacket and just be like, come on, get a cold, get a cold. It was really bad. So bad for like an 8 or 9 year old to be doing that. Bit probably mentally unstable, I don't know. So now I'm aged about 8, 9, I hate school, I don't really go. Now I am making a really big problem for my parents. Like every single time I'm getting ill a lot, I'm getting very frustrated, I'm getting very anxiety, constantly asking for days off, taking any chance I can to get a day off, you know, very, very frustrating. I would have hated to have me as a kid. So by the ages of like 8 or 9, I hadn't learned Spanish yet. Most of the people, I was kind of in a different place. I didn't really know anything, so I wasn't learning from school. So there was no real reason for me to go to school in my own head. I was like, I'm going there, just sitting there. I'd much rather sit there and do something I love, which was Lego at that age and games. And this morning, funnily enough, kind of like watching This Morning when I had a day off school. Don't know why, just got it. And loose swimming as well. I loved a bit of loose swimming when I was 8, 9 years old. I don't know why to this day. But anyway. At 9 years old, I then basically stopped going to school, like, because I was constantly ill, constantly not really there. So basically, from the ages, I think it was 9 to 13, I went to about 100 days of school. Now, as you can imagine in this, very difficult to get me to do an exam when I'm only there 100 days. And the exams that I did get, like, because when I was 9, they started just putting me in the class anyway, I would get handed a bit of paper, and then they wouldn't ask me to hand it back. So I would just not do it. It was crazy. I didn't even have to fake exams. I just didn't get asked. And I'm guessing this was because I would have brought the grade down of the class so bad by just getting zeros all the time that they just thought, let's just not. Let's just leave it. Let's not risk it. Don't give him the exam. I even got to the point once where I wasn't on the register anymore, which is just alarmingly bad. Just to clear this up, I wasn't a horrible kid. I wasn't going in there just being with mum doing anything on like that. I just would talk a lot. I love to talk. So I was just talking, chilling. That was about it. So I left school properly at 13 years old, and I got really into computers straight away. Like I saved up for the whole summer, did loads of work, kind of set up my own little business, selling stuff, remote control and bulk stuff on the internet. Used to buy it in China and sell it to people. Quite cool. Not really that cool actually. It was kind of easy, very little money. I had a lot of help from other people, wasn't really anything. But anyway, I then got a computer, started creating websites, started creating video games, got really, really awesome at computers, helped me learn English massively, helped me write all these crazy things. Then finally, at the ages of 16, 17, still haven't done a test. At this point, I end up going back to England now to start a real job. Get a real job. Because I did have a real job, but I was self-employed earning money, just wasn't earning a lot of money. So anyway, I go back and get this awesome job that I feel really bad that I messed up, but basically it really didn't suit well for me. I didn't like the people I was working with, or I didn't like one of the people I was working with, but I think it's because I was just not ready for the job. Like, I was only 18 years old at this time. I'd never been away from home, and all of a sudden, my parents were in Spain, my girlfriend was in a completely different part of England, 3 or 4 hours away, and I was in a place I'd never been before, living in somebody else's house that I rented off them using a site called like Rent a Room or whatever. So then again, got the job, didn't have to do any exams. There was one thing we had to do. We sat in front of a TV and they just showed us images. It was one of the ones that you can't fail. It was like, hey, don't run in front of traffic, and you go, yeah, don't run in front of traffic, and you win. And that was it. And then we got to now, left that job, self-employed, don't have to do exams there, and I still haven't got my driving test done. I'm fucked. I don't have no exams. So now, if I do an exam, I'm screwed because I don't know none of the protocol, don't know about cheating, I don't know how easy it is to cheat, so I don't know any of that. If you know if it's easy to cheat and I have to do an exam, please tell me. I wouldn't cheat, but you know. Anyway, that's my story about how I managed to go 21 years without doing an exam. I hope you have an absolutely awesome day. See you later. Bye.